they at. So sick with the wordplay, more potent than bird flu. Cause I be low to the earth, watching he give you the curve view. Class in session, I be the teacher, shit, I'm breaking all the rules. Fuck follow the leader. Expose you to the shit that your pops never showed you. Right squad in the building, we developing soldiers. Simply the picture and your niggas don't get it. Supposed to be grown ass men, but you acting like children. You know I get my G.O. Fall from a P.O. Resign pussy cloud, cause now is the season. So I stack my money from the floor to the ceiling. I'm trying to see my tags and titties that I can feel on. Any pussy niggas catching feelings. No hard 10 man, bitch, I'm making the killer. All I got that money, ABL, when I stream on. Any given Sunday going up, will it be mine? Every day we wake up, we going through a struggle. Gotta get this paper, so these little niggas hustle. Posted in the trap with they pack and they strap. And if money ain't calling, then the trap's where they at. Every day we wake up, we going through a struggle. Gotta get this paper, so these little niggas hustle. Posted in the trap with they pack and they strap. And if money ain't calling, then the trap's where they at.
Ali was good. Salam alaikum. Or like I tell the Arabs in my corner school, salami eggs and bacon.
Niggas hate you, make cake and they ain't making it too. That's why they hating on you. Look, putting working on their job when I'm making them do. That's why they hating on you. They mad they can never reach the level that I'm taking it to. That's why they hating on you.
That's good though. How you feeling? Staying safe?
Every tape that I do. That's why they hating on you. Wait, niggas hate. They be hating on you. Wait, niggas hate.
This Kenny Colada is hitting the spot. Oh my god, this is so bad. I hate you.
I hate them too. I ain't never like them, that's why I was never like them. My homie probably never come home, but I never write him. Straight down calling my phone, but I never wipe him. I pipe him and get FaceTime, but I never Skype him. Don't never hype him like he the man.
Andre, what's good?
Freehound and keys on the Peter Pan. When I squeeze the can, I can use either hand.
How you doing?
He left, right when
I heard that interview you had. It's pretty dope.
But most men bitching and most bitches want to be the man. I go in the strip club with a piece of band and throw the dough in the air like the pizza. They hate you make cake.
I'm just gonna wait until Cassidy jumps on my live. I was surprised that he does live interviews like this.
They
Like
mad
on
they can
Facebook
never
Live.
reach the level that I'm taking it to. That's why they hating on you. But niggas here bar after bar every tape that I do. That's why they hating on you. Wait, niggas hate. They be hating on you. Wait, niggas hate.
Yeah, man, definitely.
They be hating on
Never not working.
I hate them too. I feel alive,
I know
still
all
lucky
too
that
well
you're
that.
still alive. In between the gorilla eyes, the banana peel.
You gotta stay, like I always say, you gotta stay consistent. Stay consistent and stay relevant.
It's bananas. Men front when they in front of the camera, still acting like they stand up, bucket on the stand and squid. Real pain is the thing you should plan to feel. If the knife don't take your life, then the hammer will. You've been shot, but forgot how the hammer feel. When the stick make you remember it, dismember me. Your body parts falling off, I in your shit. Any nigga hating won't benefit. Niggas hate you, make cake and they ain't making it too. That's why they
I
hate
got my
you.
blunt ready for him too.
Look, putting working on their job when I'm
Hopefully
making
he'll have a
them
blunt
good.
ready.
That's why they hate you.
Don't sleep with me.
They mad they can
While we
never reach the
talk.
level that I'm
That
taking
would be
it
cool.
to. That's why they hate you.
I'm gonna tell him to roll the blunt.
But niggas here bar
I mean,
after bar every tape that I do. That's why they hate you. Wait, niggas hate. They be hating on you. Wait, niggas hate. They be hating on you. I hate them too. Look, the H and hate stand for honesty, and the A stand for any. I think consciously. Rappers hate cause they'll never be as hot as me. That's why I'm breaking down the word hate. Where I stop it. The T and hate stand for tight, and the E stand for enemy. You understand it, right? It's no love when it's straight.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot more since
Enemy, enemy, I got hate niggas.
I think I need to check my liver.
That's why they hating on you.
I haven't been drinking like that.
On the job when I'm making them pay. That's why they hating on you. They mad they can never reach the level that I'm taking it to. That's why they hating on you. The niggas here bar after bar, every tape that I do. That's why they hating on you. Wait, niggas hate, they be hating on you. Wait, niggas hate, they be hating on you. I hate that too.
Yeah, he's coming out with new music now. So I think I want to know if he's like done with the battle rapping and doing more so records, you know, and songs and shit. I've had some great encounters during my 4 or 5 years of doing radio, and I'm extremely grateful and thankful to have had those opportunities to have been able to have conversations with some individuals that I literally grew up listening to, you know. It's pretty dope. Never in my life would I thought I'd be doing this, but here I am.
You need the correction. If you getting chicken, you need to feed your protection. Niggas snitching, they are sick with the D's.
The story of Blaze.
I never graduated the students with high grades. Cause smoking on the wrong type of weed, leaving me stressing. The dope that I smoke green, but yo, if you a dope fiend, the fentanyl will cost you some
Ice
green.
keeps getting frozen in the middle of my straw, which does prevent me from smoking this shit.
OG almost OD'd in the
That's
session.
funny, you know,
I pray for what I need to start receiving the blessings. Feed my seeds, will I succeed? Ain't even a question. Class in session, I feel I need to teach them a lesson. When class in session, I feel I need to speak with aggression. When folks start to get more woke, they sleep lesson. I be resting up for something to squeeze. Sleep with a Wesson. These streets is depressing, especially if you're chicken down and broken. All you can do is hope that shit is switching.
Yo, Rap, what's good, man? I feel like I haven't spoken to you in like, oh my god. I fucking kind of miss you, bro. Yeah. 6 said what's up too. I haven't had a conversation with you in about 48 hours. It's too long. Don't let that shit happen again, right? I got people in Florida. I keep telling them.
Ain't even have navigation. Back then they just had to accomplish shit. And what kind of ships brought us to this continent? The kind of ships they stole from the Africans who designed this shit. I got a lot of accomplishments, so I'm convinced nobody can fuck with me. Y'all fuck with my confidence. You're supposed to hate criticism, you hate compliments. This much lyricism has a consequence. I've been a problem since back in the 90s. Rapping so the cats up front actually behind me, then I got the sense. I gotta finna let some anger out. I'll pull a banger out, start to bang it out, empty the chamber out. You ever ran inside a stranger house, about to kill someone and then put a familiar gun inside a stranger mouth? I came from the hood, I'm good, I can't complain.
That's alright. When I get off of this, we'll have our
our
usual conversation. It's been kind of quiet though. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean? It's been kind of quiet. This is the, no, it's not the earliest I started drinking. I surprisingly did not eat a taco today. I could go home, but I had spaghettis.
Rap took me real far.
This doesn't go by too fast.
I'm a real star, not just the shit on the reef selling. If niggas get straight and they feeling you make millions, they'll try to street kill you. You making the street kill. When I play the street, I stay with heat, but be straight chillin'. I'm a street villain, cake villain, I'm weight villain. I know the facts. Grow a rat, he straight swillin'. I can tell you about the scene, you just give me that trick feeling. When niggas catch a case, 7 out of 8 swillin', but the Imagine how the 1 out of 8 upstate feeling. Yo, the priest that go preach and rape children is the same dudes the government used to make true. The fake feeling even more fake as the days pass. Cause when God made the greatest alive, he made cash. My eyes red, man, cause I'm smoking on straight gas. It's a method to my madness. I bag it and make bad. Cause the addicts buying meth OD with straight cash. Off the MET that you can OD if you straight glass. But he look dirty like he don't shower or take baths. He gon' make cash, you nothing but shots with his big ass.
His punchlines are crazy. I was listening to one of his new joints called So High. Can you see if you find So High? Can you get So High? Like Cassidy on YouTube?
You got straight swag. I feel like you're sweet like cards and big dash. Shit switching, this is bitch ass.
He got this joint called So High.
And I'm the one that ain't mad. I rip the long gun. If they mad, they gonna be mad after the song done. I'm not gonna be the goofy coochie, give a long tongue. I give a long dick and hit hard just like the song drum. Don't tell me how you so nice and how a song's done when I'm the one to get the ghost right to buy songs from. And dope like 2 decades, I had them all.
Cassidy said if you ain't got bars, you shouldn't be spinning. So how do we fix that? How do we fix that when people that don't have bars are constantly being praised? How do we fix that? We complain so much about it, but yet trash music seems to prevail and win, unfortunately. Is it because of the beat? I'm gonna get into this So High. It's by Cassidy. It's So High. Let's see. This is new joint.
I started from the bottom, that's the reason I get high. I be steaming, I don't think it's the reason I should lie. I started from the bottom, that's the reason I get high. I'm gonna achieve it in the end, I'm gonna be steaming till I die. And you can see it in my eyes. You can see it, nigga, high. You see it in my eyes. I started from the bottom, that's the reason I get high. The cake be taking the stress away. Just gotta check on my desk today, and they ain't had to check on my resume. So I'm trying to get higher than yesterday. I got dressed today. Look at my wrist and my neck today. I look fresh today. Just took a zip to the chest today. I feel like I ain't get no rest today. Hey, it's cynical evil, smoking the indica and the sativa. Been in the diva, over the minute I leave her, then I'm a leaver. I've been in the league, my own, I'm prone, I'm not with the fake shit. I'm gonna need a facelift. I'm about to be soaring, I'm bored in space. Got birth months, that grape shit. Got the barbecue, I go deep shit. Got blue train, that straight drip shit. Red hairs, that flip drip. Got workers working, trying to make flips 24/7. They take shifts, that shit.
Hello.
My face twitch. You saying coke is a crit mix. I started on the bottom, that's the reason.
You can hear me? What's his name?
You can see it in my eyes. In my eyes. I started from the bottom, that's the reason I get high. I started from the bottom, that's the reason I get high. In the end, I'm gonna see like and you can see it in my eyes. You can see it, nigga, high. You see it in my eyes. I started from the bottom. That's the reason I get high.
Yes, wash your hands.
I don't work for a man. I guess I'm a creature. Yeah, we choose to work for money. Any guy who died, I heard this shit. I would fight for time. Sweet back, I like it. Now if I hit her up, I'ma get the fuck ASAP. The free black, I ain't prejudiced to me. All white, cause I all white, with the strip facts. You a weak nigga, face facts. If I smack the taste out your mouth, it take a week to get the taste back. Right after you get your face smacked, gunshot. I hit you, them niggas switch you with her. Watch, I let the big nose ring out on the gun. That thing just like my tracks, hit it drums now. This young guy gave me dumb top. And the same bitch she had me when this with a fun stop. I got 12 I could go around, and I moved it in the car. Going down, she on my gun. This is the song that I sung out. Your mama and your girl trying to find me. I'm the kind of man she's against you. I'm a kind of man. Get pop, step or get pop like the mama man. Smoke fire. Drama brain, fuck cops, get a shot on the llama man. Trauma fan, get a gut shot like a sonic ring. All kind of hands with that on my essence, so I don't want to hit no suggestions. I can find a plan. A man can use help, or I refuse help. Choose help, you can get the pendulums in the loose self. Stressing under the impression that you gotta prove self. I always eat good in the street, but never you show. You do help is at risk, man. You suicide. If you decide to get out of character, I'll adapt. I choose the route and I get the call for who is right. You know, Thomas a miracle. You alive. That city got to act like that should be euthanized. And I got put the eye on the truth and the new disguise. And you think to see the truth, they gotta use their eyes now. You can rise on the shit I'm spitting. This from God's son, it was written way before I got cool time. Little kids wanna do it the whole day, but did you realize you can't get a happy meal supersized? You understand to a shooter eyes and through the eyes of a group of guys you shot before they lose their lives. No, you didn't. I know you didn't. I know you bitching. I give my shooter some chicken and give them no description. You get the drop, you can't shot and give my book permission.
You ready for me? I hope you're rolling your blunt. I got mine rolled already. I have mine waiting for you, you see? I always come pre-rolled to my events. One, because it keeps motherfuckers out your face, and two, you ain't gotta worry about shit knocking on the floor, you know? When you're drinking and shit. So how you doing?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay, there you go.
Hold on. Oh.
You dropping me? That's how you feel?
The fuck? You can hear me?
Yep. I'm just waiting for your screen to pop up. Okay, there we go. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing?
Beautiful, beautiful.
You look like you had to take an Uber to where you walk to. I was about to call one for you, so you're walking for like 10 minutes. How you been holding up during this whole crazy freaking pandemic, man?
Now, I was outside with my dog, and I just remembered that I had the car. I seen the time.
You forgot about me, right?
Now, I ain't forget. I just ain't
That's
realize.
how you treat dark-skinned people? I thought Black Lives Matter. What happened?
I ain't forget. You see I'm here.
What's your dog's name?
Pretty boy.
Pretty boy? How old is he? He
He
looks like a
almost
beast.
2.
He looks like he eats people, midgets.
Huh?
I say he looks like he eats midgets.
Yeah, he do.
So something I wanted to start off by telling you, which I thought was pretty cool. You share the same birthday as my son. And you're a Cancer, like me. Which is pretty dope.
So you and your son are Cancer. You
Yes,
and your
sir.
son Cancer. That's dope.
I'm the first, and he's the 7th.
All right, that's hot.
When I told him that he shared the same birthday as you, he got super gassed. And now he claims that he has a celebrity twin.
Yeah, that's the best birthday ever.
Yeah, so you know Cancers are the best. We're a little emotional, but that's all right, though. Don't test our gangster.
Especially a Cancer born on the 7th day. That's important.
Yeah, man, definitely. Most definitely. That's the end of the week, too. Start of the week, I mean.
Yeah, your son. How old is your son?
He's actually going to be 18 next month in a couple of weeks. So he's not going to be getting no senior graduation and senior prom, unfortunately, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to make something. I don't know. I'm going to try to do something to make up for it. At the end of the day, I told him, you succeeded, you passed, so that's what counts,
That's the moral of the story.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So how you been all these years? I haven't seen you in like almost a decade or so.
You ain't been tuning in. I've been around.
You haven't called me. You haven't hit me up. Like I'm feeling like a redheaded stepchild. What's going on here? Like, what's up?
I've been working though.
Yeah. You doing any new music with Swiss?
I recently did some new music with him, but he's not really doing too much music lately. Like that's all I do is music. I think my work ethic is probably higher than anybody in the industry. I work more than anybody, but I don't know if he's doing too much music right now. He got a lot of other things going on, so
yeah. Doesn't stop you from doing what you got to do, right?
Not at all.
Exactly. That's how you. My model's never not working, so I know how it is.
Yeah, I'm always working, and this next project I'm about to put out is called The Energy.
Okay.
I never felt this good about a project in my life, so I'm excited.
Tell me about it.
I never felt this good about a project before. Like the best project I ever put together. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Around it, bunch of dope topics. Bars is back though. There's a lot of figurative language, a lot of bars, a lot of creativity.
That's one thing I like about you is that your bars and like your punchlines are they're insane.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a bunch of that on the album. A lot of creative tracks. It's just,
you have any features on there?
It's dope. I got a few, but I'm not one of them artists that I'm independent. So I don't do the industry move and try to just get a bunch of features of artists that's popping at the time to try to get some hype. I put my music.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
And it's difficult for me to get features because a lot of artists scared to work with me. So it's there's not a lot that they could get out of it. A lot of artists are scared to work with me because they know how hard I go, and it's not
And
worth
they
it.
feel like they have a lot to measure up to. I mean, you know what I mean? It's pretty intimidating.
They rather work with artists that, you know, they could do what they do and still shine, opposed to an artist like me that's going to try to body them on the track. It's just
Right.
too. So a lot of artists don't like to work with me. It's rare you will find that happening.
Yeah. What made you stay independent all these years?
Independent is the best for me. I'm a Cancer. I like being in control. I
Yep.
like calling the shots. I like calling the shots. I like to move
Exactly.
at my own speed. I don't like to be delayed by having to
For
move
waiting
at
for people.
other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel
Exactly.
like, since I'm the creator, I'm the originator of the music. I'm the creator of all of the waves, all of the things that the people like from my brand. I feel like I should be in control of it. So that's why I'm
Definitely.
independent.
Definitely.
It
Would
took,
you ever
it took me time to understand the business like how I know it. So for a minute, I did have a big machine behind me, and I learned business during those years. But I think that's what you're supposed to do: grow and
yeah,
learn.
you
Not
grow
stay.
from that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to stay in the same position forever. So artists that
Mm-hmm.
seen around for 10 or 20 years and they still got the same type of record deals, the same publishing deals, they're in the same situation as they was when they first got signed. Is like something wrong. Like
Yeah.
really progress.
Well, one thing I could say for you, I mean, you and I are the same age, actually. Fun fact. um, I was listening to you when I was in high school, and it's like here we are, what, 20 years later, just about 20 years later, and
I got
right,
20. Yeah, I got 20 years in.
and we still look good. Hold on, can we take a moment to say that we still look fucking good? God damn it!
Yeah. Better than 20-year-olds, and we already got 20 years in.
You already know, and I only got 2 gray hairs. Leave me alone. But what I was saying is like, I was listening to you when I was in high school, and it's like hearing you now is like you ain't skip a beat. Like a lot of people, you hear them then, and then you hear them now, and it's like, you should just stay then, and let's keep repeating your old tracks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy your old tracks, but it's like I hear you then and I hear you now, and it's refreshing to hear you now too. Especially now in this era with the music is so. I barely listen to the radio. I'll be honest with you. I listen to my radio station because I have a lot of indie artists, and there's so many indie artists that are underrated or they don't get the light that they should, or the listening that they should, or whatever. So I tune into that more.
Yeah.
But again, listening to you, and especially you being an indie artist as well, it's really refreshing to hear that 20 years later, here you are and you're still killing shit.
Yeah. Like in this sport we in, you can continue to get nicer the older you get, because you get more experience, you learn more, you see more of the world, you go
Right.
through real life issues, and even issues that you might have lived through that you might not have understood to the fullest when you was younger. You understand better now that you older and been through stuff. So you got a lot more to talk about, and you could bring a lot more to the table, and you could be a better artist. But a lot of artists tend to lose the hunger. They tend to lose the hunger and the passion like they had when they was young. So they never, come on, man. They tend to lose the hunger and the passion like when they was younger. They don't listen to rap as much. They not tuned
They're
in.
just listening to the beat.
They don't love
Because
it.
right now, all that's out there is a beat. In my opinion, all that's out there is a beat.
No, I mean an older artist. Like after a while, after you learn to use the passion for it, and that's why it seemed like they might have fell off. It's not that they're not capable of doing what they used to do. It's just that they're not in it no more like how they used to be. So that's why you're not hearing the same music from them. But in order to stay nice, in order for you to hear a person from back in the day and then hear a long period of time go by and then you hear them again, for you to have that same feeling, they have to get way better. Some people think they got to stay the same. Or I hear comment that you need to go back to doing what you used to do. But in order to make an impression on somebody after time change, you got to get way better, because the sign is so when times change. and they already
And the people that are following you see your growth too.
and they already heard that old version of you. So now they got to hear a upgraded version of that old version of you for you to make an impact on them today. And then that you got to stay active and you got to stay working.
Definitely, I totally agree. Did anybody inspire you throughout those years that you kind of like were low key?
You said, did anybody inspire me?
Yeah, like anybody was an inspiration as you know, because when you started doing music, you was a teenager. You was what, 17, 18 years old?
Well, when I got my first record deal, I was 17.
You were 17. So, you know, from there, you're still considered a young man, you know what I mean? So becoming a man and everything like that, was there any artist that was like kind of
plenty of inspirations? I just did a song called The Four Elements, breaking down.
I just played it.
Yeah, so I started breaking down a lot of the artists that inspired me, and I mean that helped me become the animal I was. I mean that I am now. I left a lot of people out, but a lot of artists inspire me, and not just rappers, R&B artists. Like one of my first managers was Kevin Hart, the lead.
Really?
Not Kevin. I said Kevin Hart. I meant I'm high.
He's thinking about you, you know that, right? He's talking about you or he's thinking about you.
William Hart, the lead singer at the Delphonics. That was my first manager, and he did all of the writing for the Delphonics, their legendary group. So he was like inspiration. Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, like Sam Cooke, like people like that. Like I just loved them type of artists, looked up to them, and just respected their swag and how they was doing it and just being a star. So
do you think it's important for artists, especially? Do you think it's important, especially for like upcoming artists, to pay homage? Because you have a lot of artists that are out there, and it's like, yo, you haven't even paid your respects to the people that started what you're doing right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And some of them are claiming it like if they started that particular trend, or you know what I mean? Do you think it's important that they should pay homage or something like that? Because a lot of them don't do it.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely got to pay homage, and you got to do your research. You got to know the history. Like a lot of dudes don't know what came before them. They don't really understand. So, you know what I mean, that's the reason why they can't really pay homage, because they don't fully understand what this artist did or brought to the table.
Right.
They might look up to an artist that was inspired by an artist that was inspired by that artist. Like
another artist, right?
Yeah,
and that shit is like telephone. By the time to get to that one is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, so I think you got to know your history. You got to do your research and have somebody to teach you. So that's why on the type of music I be doing and encouraging people to do their research, stop judging and start studying. Because to know the future, you got to know the past. You got to know the history, where it came from, where it started at, and who played parts in the making it what it is today. Because now it's the biggest form of music that exists. They thought it was going to be a fad and it was some bullshit and it was going to come and go. But now it's the biggest form of music in the world. So
especially hip hop.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Hip hop most importantly.
Yeah.
What do you? So you feel like I know you say that rappers ain't that don't have any type of bars or substance, they shouldn't be allowed to win. That's kind of hard to say considering what's out there right now. You know?
Well,
it's like it's being pushed, and it's like.
Well, the business
and I question it. I'm like, is it the younger generation? Because, I had a talk with Split Star, and I asked him, I'm like, what do you think about this type of music right now? And he's like, personally, it's not for us. It's not our type of music. It's not our generation. He's like, you have to accept the fact that this is for this generation and this is what they like.
Nah, I disagree. It's not for just. It's not.
It should be for all generations. I feel it shouldn't have an expiration date on who should be listening to it.
No form of music is for just one generation or one type of people. Music is music.
Exactly.
So I don't agree with that. But it's the same thing that happened when I was coming around and rappers was in the rap game and they wasn't used to using figurative language, punchlines, and using bars like I was using. So when I came around, maybe a lot of artists that came before me didn't like that form of rap. They didn't think it was that's that new generation stuff, them punchlines and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's all a part of the culture. So you gotta incorporate it and embrace it all. But don't believe that just because something charting on the billboards or something like that, it's something that we don't control when we don't own. Don't think that's the biggest thing in music. And that's the problem. People think just because an artist seemed to be big at the time in the business, that that's the biggest thing in the world and everybody like that and don't nobody else like nothing else. But that's not how it is.
There's so much more out there.
The business don't necessarily push what everybody like. They just push what they push and they try to force everybody to like what they pushing. It works the other way around. It's not like everybody likes this person and then they just sign them and put them out. So the music that you hearing on the radio is like the best music in the world. That's not that's not how it really goes. You know what I'm saying? And it's a business. So once you start understanding that, you'll understand the reason why certain music get pushed. If you able to make more complicated music and make bigger music, then usually you'll be a smarter person. So that means you'll be able to understand paperwork better, what you deserve better. You'll be able to negotiate better situations and better deals for yourself. So the artist that's nicer are usually harder to deal with. The artist that's more dumbed down and sound dumb in their verses is because they probably dumb in real life. So it's easier to get them in bad situations and contracts that don't matter. And that's why you're starting to see a lot of them type of artists coming out, because it's better for the check cutters to sign them type of artists at the moment. But
they're gullible, that's why.
That don't mean that they make the best music or that's the best artist or that's what everybody like now, even the new generation. The new generation is just like our generation, is mixed. It's some people that like popular music. It's some people that like bars. It's some people that like the dance. It's like all different type of people in the new generation, just like in our generation. And when we was younger, it was dudes that came out like MC Hammer that had on big pants, and he wasn't considered to be lyrical or gangster like most rappers. So the dudes that I grew up with in the hood, the older dudes, they didn't really like that type of music. But the kids was all doing the hammer dance and everybody loved him. And they was like, yo, that's some good shit. But he was number one on the charts. So that constantly happened. The business constantly pushed people that might not be the best rapper at the time, but it might be something that they could push at the time, whether it's a dance, a look, a style, or something like that. And that's what tend to happen in this business.
Yeah. And I know you said in one of your interviews that real hip hop is not hard to find, especially with us having the internet now. And, you know, I totally agree. You know, it's all about searching for it because it's out there. Because I've searched for it and I found it.
And once you find it, support it. Everybody ain't going to like everything. It's billions of people in this world and it's a bunch of different rappers. So everybody not like the same thing or the same type of stuff. But it is something out there for you. And once you find it, support it. Stick to the people that you like and support the people that you like. And just worry about that. Don't try to worry about what everybody else doing and try to just like the artist that you think the most people in the world like, because all of them numbers is manipulated anyway. So you should just like what you like, stream what you like to listen to, and it's available now. And it's on demand, so you don't have to like listen to the radio and just wait for them to play your song or hope they play it. Now
you can get that shit in your fingertips.
If you ain't, you can rewind it. You can start it over. You could pause it.
You can put that shit in your favorites.
You want with it. You got the freedom now, so it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, I literally I can replay my interviews too. I literally say that verbatim all the time. Like, there's too many people in the world. You know, for every one person that doesn't like your music, 10 other people are gonna love it. You know what I mean? So don't stress it. There's a lot of artists that they get their panties in a bunch because they feel like, even when I tell them I don't like their music, I'm like, I'm being honest. Like, you should just give up this, go flip some burgers or maybe, you know, just this ain't for you.
Like the business make you believe that you need everybody in the world to like you for you to be successful. Right. They make you think if you don't got hundreds of millions of fans that you're not doing it big enough. But that's not true.
So what was it for you being so young? Like,
you don't need that many fans.
What was it for you?
Imagine if you had just 1,000 people, but those 1,000 people was to give you $100 a month. That'd be $100,000 a month that you would make off them people. Off them people give you $1,000 a month, that'll be $1 million a month you made off just 1,000 people. You don't need 100 million people. You just need a loyal fan base, people that really like you, willing to invest into you. And
it's gonna grow eventually because they're gonna talk. You know, the best promotion is word of mouth.
yeah, but sometimes even if it don't grow, you'll still be better off
You still have that base. Yeah, definitely.
even if those 1,000 people only spent $10 a month, then that'd be $10,000 that you make. And it could be people that might have been selling 10 million records and still not making no money. Like you heard those stories so many times. People sold so many records. There's so much and they still broke. But
Yeah,
you have 1,000 fans that's constantly spending money. But if you don't got no overhead, you don't got to pay nobody, you don't got a bunch of people digging in your pockets, and you got 1,000 people spending $10 a month, then you making $10,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? $120,000 a year off your music. You can be able to invest more out of that 120,000 into your project to maybe make them spend $20 a month now or $30 a month. Like you keep investing in yourself to make them more interested and spend more. And with them 1,000 people, you could get super rich. So imagine if it was 2,000 people or 3,000 people or 5,000 people. Like you look at it like that and you could really, really get rich. It don't have to be 100 million or 1 billion people. You don't have to sell 10 million records and all that stuff. Like not necessarily. Like, and if you
you broke that shit down. I hope whoever's watching, I mean, we got a bunch of listeners and watchers right now. So I hope they take heed to what you're saying because everything you're saying is true. You know, a lot of them they like to look at the bigger picture, you know? And it's like, don't focus on the bigger picture because it's not about that. It's about working your way up towards it, you know?
Man, having ownership and control. Like, a lot of people be trying to work their way up to the bigger picture, but they be a slave and they be a worker and they be under somebody.
You don't have no say in anything.
No matter how big the picture get, you don't own it. You can't sell that picture. You can't sell that painting because you don't own it. So you just helping people know about the picture and how popular the painting is. But once the painting sell, you're not gonna really get the money from it. They might break you off a little bit, like give you a little bit of paper just for promoting it. But you ain't gonna really get the bread that the painting worth. So it's like a lot of people try to get into business thinking they seeing the bigger picture because that's what they manipulate you to believe. When you look at videos and these artists that sign Instagram, you would think they got the world. But when you really listen to their interviews and their stories, they could be #1 on the charts, but they'll let you know right now and they getting robbed. Let you know right now and they in management contracts that they can't get out of and that they don't know how they got into it and they're not really making no paper. But because you see them in the big cars and you think they got you all manipulated, you thinking they actually buying them things and you think that you can say a bullshit rap and just get rich and famous. And that's what a lot of people think. And that's why you got billions of extra people trying to get in the music business that's not supposed to. A lot of them is supposed to be grinding and trying to do it. But you got probably billions of other people that not supposed to be in the business, but just think it's like hitting the lottery. Think it's a quick way to get a check. I don't really got to
just imagine if it was filtered.
Yeah, like I don't got to put in the work. I could just write a couple raps, hopefully get a deal and get rich. And that's what everybody think that they can.
I always said I'm ready to come out with a song and I'm going to just be rapping about some adobo and sazon and about what I'm making for dinner. I get you as a feature.
Yeah.
I'll be a quick meal. I'll be a one-hit wonder. I'll just flip my shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how everybody feel because they hear these records on the radio and they like, yo, if that was a hit, then I could fucking rap about
exactly. It must be easy for me. Exactly.
Yeah, that's how people feel. But that's not how the business is supposed to make you feel. Like when you see LeBron James or one of them or Michael Jordan do a dunk from the free throw line, you don't look at that and say, oh, I could go grab a basketball and just dunk from the free throw line on all of them niggas that's 6'9" and tall and just dunk on them. You don't believe that you could do that. When you see Mike Tyson or Roy Jones or Floyd Mayweather or Andre Ward or one of these good fighters go out there and beat a big grown man and just knock him silly and just knock him out cold. You don't think like, yo, if I seen this 6'8", 250 50-pound man that train every day. If I was fighting them, I probably couldn't do that same thing. You don't think that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Even when you see Serena or one of them playing tennis, you ever been on the tennis court and you know how big it is and how the tennis racket feel, and you just see them running back and forth and hitting it perfectly all them times. You don't feel like you could do that.
I do that shit in my head.
To feel like that you could get that good, it would take forever. That's what people think.
Mm-hmm.
But with rap, they hear a song on the radio and they like, man, I could write that shit today. Like I could do something like that now. So that's the difference.
So let me ask you. So what are your thoughts on these labels that are signing these artists that have like absolutely no content? Like it's.
Well, you gotta understand that it used to
like
be,
Atlantic Records. I'm gonna just put it out there. Atlantic Records is famous for signing trash.
It used to be a lot of labels, like hundreds of them. Now it's only like a handful of them left. So it's not like a lot of labels left. It's only a little bit of them, and they trying to get whatever they could get. Like the money that's left, they get it. You know what I'm saying? However they could get it, and they signing. But what you got to understand is the check cut is the people that's in control. The real owners of these labels are not a part of the culture. Most of them don't make music, they don't rap, they don't sing, they don't do nothing. They just
so they don't know nothing about
business.
It. Right.
Yeah, they know money, they know numbers. So they only go by statistics and history. They need paperwork proof, like
numbers matter.
Yeah, anything that got numbers on it to make them be able to understand how this is a good investment. That's how they move.
That's
and
crazy.
Then they hire the in-between people, which is be these CEOs of these production companies, which do be having experience in the culture, but they talk a little bit, but they also can talk to the artists, and they hire them and they give them jobs to be able to find the talent and bring them in because they don't know the culture at all. They just know how to cut the checks.
Right. The
reason why a lot of these things happen and is not for culture reasons. It's not because the culture want to change or is different or the culture like that. It's just because it's a business move and they trying to make money, and that's what they pushing at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's potential for that to change? Where it will become?
It always does. The same way I gave you an example, like there was the MC Hammers at one time. You had the Vanilla Ice, baby, doom, 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 hit records, but they wasn't like that. Was like a hit record now, but like a radio record that wasn't that lyrical. They wasn't like it was like the street niggas was criticizing those type of records. It was like for the kids at the time,
right?
Legendary records and all of that stuff. So the same way they came, and then it was like only a matter of time before artists like Nas and Pac and Big and then the Wu-Tang and like all of these type of rappers, Big Pun, and all of these people started getting signed and started coming with lyrics and concepts and bars, and once they seen that start clicking, then all the labels started looking for artists like that. They start getting opportunities, and everybody thought that was the best form of rap at the time. But once they stopped signing them type of artists and start signing the watered down artists again, people thought that was the best music.
Yeah.
But around again is only a matter of time because the culture always gonna overpower the business. Yeah. So eventually the culture gonna start demanding what the culture want, and that's bars, that's real concepts. Stuff gonna happen in the world like the coronavirus, like this revolution, like deep things that's gonna take people out of party mode and not wanting to hear lyrics. They need direction, they need guidance, they need somebody to teach you, lead them. So when you get to those type of times, you need different type of artists to be popping at the time. And the label realized that, and that's when they stop signing those watered down artists and start looking for artists that's more conscious, more lyrical, more subject matter. They start looking for that. And that's when you start to see them artists coming around, and those artists start to be the #1 artists on the charts and things like that.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's like a mind fuck in a cipher that just continuously happens.
For sure.
Over the years, That's crazy. How do you feel about everything that's going on right now with all these protests and riots? Where are you now? What state are you in? I'm not gonna find you. Don't worry.
I'm in Georgia.
You're in Georgia. Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. How you feel about all this?
I think it's a beautiful thing. It needed to happen. It was a long time coming. I knew things like this was gonna happen. You don't know the exact date or when it's gonna go down, but you know it eventually is.
Yeah.
And since it's been happening, you already starting to see the changes in the world already. So I'm happy it's happening. It needed to happen. I believe everything in the world happened for a reason. I don't believe
I'm
the
a
higher
firm believer of that. Yeah,
even
I'm
if
a firm believer.
you think it's bad things or sins or that's what they consider. I believe all of those things are supposed to happen too. Like even
Listen,
things, the bad things, it's like sometimes the bad things could be bad for billions of people, but that same bad thing could be good for billions of people too, and vice versa. Something could be bad for you, but it could be good for billions of people. Who's to decide what is good or bad? It's like it's a hard decision to make. Even with stuff like murder, sometimes you might murder somebody and you say that's bad, you shouldn't murder. But it could be somebody that's about to destroy the whole world. And if you murder that person and save the world, then you're a hero. And they put you down as a good murderer. Like, you know what I'm saying? For instance, like when Moses caught a murder, he's in the Bible. All the religious people that say thou shalt not kill still mess with Moses, but he was a murderer. But in his situation, it was cool. But in other situations, it's not. So it's like hard to say what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong, what's sin. I just believe everything's supposed to happen and everything going according to plan.
yeah, I'm a firm believer of that too. Good or bad, it's a reason for everything, you know. And even the bad, we may question it, but it's like there's some reason behind that as to why it happened. Like, you know, for example, what happened to George Floyd. It's unfortunate, but look at what it caused. You know what I mean?
Things like that been happening. I just think the people are just responding different. And that's because people getting more woke, getting a better
That, and I think they're tired too.
um yeah, well, yeah, we've been tired of it, but uh you just we got a better understanding. Like we got more information. Like for so long we denied the proper information to even know how to fight back or what to do. But now
Right.
more information is available. Um, Melanated people able to go to school. You're able to get on the computer and search up anything and look up anything now. Like it might have been genius from back in the day, like a Frederick Douglass or something before black people was even able to read. Before you was
Yeah.
even able to find the right type of books that can teach you what you needed to know, those
Yeah.
people were becoming geniuses back then. So imagine with the access to all of the information that we got now and all of the computers, what type of geniuses we got floating around now.
I totally agree.
Difference is like when they say you getting more woke, it's just that we're gaining more information, not as manipulated as we was before, and that's why we responding different and things going to have to change.
Mhm. Yeah, you're right. And I think, like you said, everybody's finally waking up to the reality of things, you know, and realizing that as a people and people of color, we are so powerful. You know what I mean? And I think they're realizing that strength in numbers actually makes a difference in things. They bumped up the charges to second degree murder on
Yeah.
for these guys that they arrested. You know what I mean? So that stands for something. It's small, but it stands for something, and it's a start.
And
And it's showing that.
some things be bigger than any law getting changed. Like with seeing Obama become president, a black man did more for the next generation than any law changing. Just them seeing that you could be at the top and be melanated
Oh yeah,
gave them a whole
absolutely.
like. See, my son was born when Obama was president already, so
Right.
it's like when he was born, Obama became president. So it's like he
That was
don't
already great for him to see that.
yeah, like when he first understood what a president was, it was already a black man. So it's like
Right.
different feeling about life and what he can accomplish than probably I did, or my
Right.
mom, or his
Mhm.
grandparents. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
so the same thing like with this revolution and people seeing all of the 50 states protested, and even all around the world, even in other countries in the UK and in Africa and in all of these different places, they protesting all for the same reason.
Hmm.
And um, the next generation is a part of it and able to see it. So imagine how strong that let them know that we are, and how strong that they could feel the things that they know that they can accomplish and achieve now is way different than the generation before them. So it's a
Mhm.
blessing. And some things happen for reasons that's even bigger than the law changing, because we need a lot of
Yeah.
laws to change. We need a lot of things to be different. We got to continue to fight. But in order
Oh
to
yeah.
do that, you need more information. Then you got to believe that it's supposed to be different. If you believe
Hmm.
that everything is how it's supposed to be, then you'll never want it to change. And for a long time,
Exactly.
it was manipulated thinking that that's how it was supposed to be. But now we have,
Hmm.
so we know that's not how it's supposed to be, and we frustrated and we wanted to change. So
Hmm.
we moving
Yeah, it's
forward.
true.
It's all a good. Sometimes it look like a bad thing, but it's a good thing. And they gonna look back at this time that we living through right now in history, and they gonna
This is
see,
historical.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
this is historical.
people going to learn about it forever. It's going to be a life that like a world changing moment. We live through it, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, like I tell my son, I told him, I said, you were born when 9/11 happened. Like during the era of 9/11, and now you're graduating during a pandemic and during a life-changing moment where people are fighting for something that should have been fought for, many years ago. You know what I mean? But it's here now, and that's what counts. And that everybody's here at the forefront. You even got people that are not of color that are out there fighting. Some with wrong intentions. Obviously, you're always gonna have bad apples in all situations. But I see the good outweighing the bad, and
Um,
everything is gonna take
and
time. I hope everybody don't think it's gonna happen like overnight. It's gonna take time. You know what I mean? And it's
it,
gonna take for people to do things collectively.
it's layered. It's like a lot of different issues that need to be dealt with, and everybody the same. Like the same issues don't affect everybody the same way. Like everybody
Yeah.
felt disappointed for different reasons. But when everybody do come together like that and fight against the power that be, then it's easy to be able to see who is the power that be. Because when we all
Mhm.
fight against each other because of gender or religion or race or where you was born or what language you speak or how short or tall you is or how light or dark you is, and we always separated like that and fighting against each other, then it's hard to see who the enemy is because you fighting with everybody. When everybody's
Exactly.
on the same page against one thing, like, and everybody feel like they tired of it, then who's going to fight to keep it there? The only people
Exactly.
that fight to keep it there got to be a part of those people, and it's easier to recognize now. So we making
Yes.
progression, man. I'm just happy. You know what I mean? Happy I'm
Yep.
alive, happy I'm living. Life is beautiful to me. You know what I mean? I done lived through situations that seemed crazy, seemed like the worst times in my life, and it was a bad thing. But after I went through it, it was a blessing. It was the best thing that could have happened to me, and it changed my life for the better in the long run and made me
Yeah.
into the person I'm supposed to be. So I look at
Yeah.
it like the same thing. Like, wow, a lot of people going through it, it could look sad and like it's a bad thing and they don't fully understand it. But after we come up out of it, everybody gonna see that it was a blessing in disguise.
Can we talk about your accident
For
that
sure, for
happened
sure.
in 2006? I honestly didn't know. I'll be honest with you. I found out today. Um, so you were in a car accident where
Yeah,
a van apparently hit you and it hit you on your side,
yeah,
and you were seriously injured, and you suffered a skull fracture
yeah,
and a shitload of bones that were broken.
yeah,
I'm laughing now because you're here, which is a blessing. You know what I mean?
sure.
But you went through some shit. You know what I mean? How was that for you? You were in critical condition. How long were you in critical condition for?
Um, I actually went into a coma. So I was
Oh,
in a,
really?
yeah, I was in a coma, and then they put me in like a medicated induced coma because they don't want you to come out the coma and go through anything. So they put you in the
Right,
medically induced coma. I was
right.
in coma for about 9 days, I think. And when I came out the coma, I had amnesia. So for like about 15 years of my life, I couldn't remember.
Wow.
I didn't forget everything. Like if it was something that was over 15 years old, like my name or like my mom, I knew my mom was my mom, but like if I met you in the last 15 years, I wouldn't recognize you. Like I would
Right.
maybe you ever get that feeling like deja vu, like you remember,
Yeah.
like I'll
Yeah.
look at the person
Seems
and
familiar.
yeah, it looked like you know them from somewhere. Like damn, I know I
You can't put your finger on it.
before, but it's like I
Hmm.
just can't recall who you are. Like I just can't call your name
Yeah.
or remember anything we did. I get the feeling like I probably seen you. Like you know what I'm
It,
saying?
you know what's crazy? You say that. I don't mean to cut you off, but I know someone who, because I ride motorcycles. So, I know a girl who she rides also, and she was in an accident. She was in a motorcycle accident, and she unfortunately sustained head injuries. And she was claiming that she didn't remember who I was. So I honestly thought she was like bullshitting me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I don't remember. There's a lot of things that I don't remember. And I was sending her pictures of her and I, while we were riding and, out to eat and just so on and so forth. And she's like, I don't remember this. And I'm like, fuck. And, now hearing it from you, I'm like, wow, like it really
I
affects you
thought it
like
was
that.
yeah, I used to see it on movies and TV shows, like when people had amnesia and they would act like
Yeah.
they forgot everything. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that. I just know how to talk and know stuff, but don't know it was weird until I went through it. And like even all of the songs like Hotel, I'm a Hustler, like songs that I perform a bunch of times. I ain't even know the words to them. So when I'm
Really?
looking at the I see
Wow.
myself in the video
And
and
you don't even remember doing that.
I got a feeling like because I'm in it, I'm thinking like I had to remember it, but I don't remember the video. I don't remember none of the words. I don't remember
Even
nothing.
till this day?
No. Yeah, now
Oh,
say I remember.
oh, from now. Okay.
Nah,
I was gonna be like, is that why you don't remember me? Like, what's up?
nah. It took me like it took me like a couple of months to get my like memory back.
Okay.
Um, but like watching videos, hearing stories, looking at pictures, in the same way like the outside of your body heals, so do your brain. So like every
Yeah.
day, I will wake up remembering a little
Right.
more things come back to you every day, and
Right.
then after a few months, the majority of my memory came back. Like I could remember like all of the things I forgot. The only
Oh,
part of
okay.
my memory didn't come back is from when I got in the car that night, the car that I got in the accident in. I could
Right.
remember when I got in the car, but
Uh-huh.
that's when like my memory go out, and then from when I wake up out the coma. So from that time, my memory still ain't come back from that time.
Oh, okay.
But from when I got in the car the night of the accident and when I got out the coma, everything other than that, my memory came back.
Right. Yeah. Well, at least you were able to regain your memory with with the good stuff,
Yeah, for
at
sure.
least. So that's good. That's crazy though.
And that's the
Cool.
reason why when I came out, I dropped the album called Bars, Barry Agent Restory, and was doing a lot of like telling a lot of my testimony and just like going deep on that album because um, I just had went through a case where they was trying to give me life in jail or
I
the death.
know.
So I
I
beat that. Then I come home and I get in a nearly fatal accident, got amnesia and a coma. And then they told me I wasn't never even going to be able to rap again. So for me to come back out, be able to rap and be able to do everything I used to do, it was like a blessing. Like the doctors ain't even think I was going to be able to do that. So that's why I
right.
came with that album Bars. Just, I mean, it's just the time in my life. It was just so deep. That's why I was making that type of music.
Yeah. No, I feel you. It's called for.
Sure.
So the people want to know why you gave up battle rapping. My comments are blowing up right now. I know you probably see them scrolling up too. But they want
I
to know why you gave up battle rapping. Or if you did. If they
nah,
don't know, you didn't.
didn't give up battle rapping. I'm always in battle mode. Like, I represent battle rap. Like, I represent battle rap and the culture. So I never gave up battle rap. But my battle rap career was like probably from like 1995 to 2001. That's when I really was like really battling the most.
Hard for it. Yeah.
After I got a record deal on opportunities to make music and make money off of it, it was no point in me battling. Like battling was just to get your name known and get you to a point to where you could get a deal. Once you got a deal, there's no point in battling unless I was going to battle somebody with a deal too that was doing similar things like me. So I was calling out people on beat and letting people know I was the best from day one. But because they know I come from battling, you know what I'm saying, the industry dudes ain't really want no static. And it took years and years for battle rap to actually build up to where it's at now. So that's why I wasn't around, because it wasn't big enough budgets or big enough leagues to bring an artist like me out. You know what I mean?
Be compatible with you, yeah.
Got big enough and got enough paper and offered it to me, I came back out. I battled Disaster, that was years ago. And then I came back twice more, Battle Goods and Battle Arsenal recently, like in the last 6 years. So
are you going to be battling anytime soon, or do you have any plans to do it in the future? They want to know if you're going to battle Jadakiss.
Nah, Jadakiss is family. Jadakiss is Rough Riders. I came up with Jadakiss. Like, we did a lot of work together, like a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't know about. Like, we did a lot of work and a lot of stuff, like, you know what I mean? And that's family. So I'm not interested in battling Jadakiss. But, I will come back to battle rap. Like, whenever they offer me the right amount of money, I always come back. Like, it's business for me now. I put in so much work that I don't really have nothing to prove. So I'm not like just in battle rap just to do it. But
what if
they offer me the right amount of money, it don't matter. Anybody can offer me the right amount.
As long as that money right?
People offer me the right amount of money, I don't even pick who I want to battle. Like, I let them pick.
Right.
So if anybody picks with the right bag, they could pick whoever they want and it could go down. Like, that's the type of battler I am. Like, anybody could get it.
That's what's up. I definitely think that.
But I'm the energy as far as ticket sales. I sold the most like tickets. We booked the biggest venue for battle rap and I sold it out immediately. Like, put up the highest pay-per-view numbers. I'm like the highest viewed battle rapper. I'm the biggest thing in battle rap. So they don't have to bring me back. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I love battle rap. So
it has to be worth it.
I talk to all of the league owners all the time, and we always trying to figure out the best next business move to make. So I'm gonna definitely be back soon. Chubby Jag, a dude that's down with me, been down for me wherever, like family forever. He done this thing, got a lot of music out on all platforms, but he got a battle coming up. He about to battle Math on RBE. So it's coming up soon too.
That's what's up. When you coming back out to New York?
I'm not sure, but whenever
I gotta feed you when you come out here.
Huh?
I gotta feed you when you come out here.
What you gonna feed me?
Whatever you want. What's your favorite food?
I like a lot of food.
I actually cook. I don't own a microwave, just to let you know. So I don't use microwaves.
I love food. So if you're gonna cook, I can't wait.
No, but what's your favorite food? If somebody told you, if you were stuck on an island and you only had 3 things, one of them being food, what would it be?
That's hard.
Weed, of course. Weed.
Yeah, but one food just all the time? I don't know.
No. I'm just saying, like, you know, what would be like the first thing you would go to?
I don't got a first thing I go to. It just depends on what mood I am. I like steak. I like lobster. I like shrimp.
Wait. How you like your? Hold on. How you like your steak? This is gonna determine our friendship here. Okay.
I like Italian food, all type of Italian foods. I like Jamaican food. I like Chinese food. I
do all that.
It depends on what mood I'm in.
All right, I do all of that. How do you like your steak?
Like the cook way, medium well.
Yeah.
Medium well.
Come on.
What? Why you say come on? What's wrong with that?
Because you're killing the nutrients.
So how you eat your steak, raw?
Medium.
How you
No,
eat
medium rare. No, it's not still moving on my plate.
Nah, I don't,
It's medium rare.
yeah, I don't like no blood or like
Come on, just close your eyes and just put it in your mouth.
nah. I can't do the blood. Like no blood. It gotta be
Don't
like
worry, I got you. I'm gonna give you some steak one day, and you're gonna be like, "This is the
I don't
best
like
steak
it
I've ever had."
well done though. Not, I don't want it burnt all up, but you can't do
No, that's not good. You gotta throw the whole steak away if it's burnt.
it can't be raw or like how you like it. Cause I don't know. I don't
Mine is
know.
not that good. Don't worry. It's actually dead. It don't have no heartbeat, so I'm good. I checked for the pulse, and it's not. There's no pulse.
Yeah, I might gotta do something else with you, like Italian food or something. Make sure my food all the way
Listen,
cooked.
I do everything. I do Italian, Asian, Jamaican, Indian, Spanish, obviously. I do American. I do all that shit. So when you come into town, whatever mood you in, we'll figure out what meal you want to eat. Deal?
Yeah, that's what's
Okay. I got proof, all right? No, I got video proof. So obviously there's no reason to tell people how to find you because they already know how to find you. And if they don't know about you, they need to get to know about you. You have anything coming
Cassidy.
out?
Cassidy underscore larceny. Social
Yeah,
media.
I already got it down there on my on the screen.
Everybody go check out the web page. www.cassidythehustler.com. Got all of the merchandise up there. Dope. And the new project is called The Energy.
Yeah, listen to that new joint, So High.
Yeah, it's a wave right there.
I like that joint.
Thank you.
I like that joint for real. Well, I wanted to tell you it was a pleasure to speak to you.
Definitely a pleasure. We gotta do it again soon.
Yes, I will keep in contact. You're in my stories anyway. Fun fact, if you didn't know.
Appreciate the love.
No, definitely. I definitely appreciate you coming back out with some dope new music. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you dropping some jewels too about what's going on in this whole world right now. You know, people need to hear things like what you said, you know?
Yeah, somebody gotta do it.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I said, it has to come as a collective. So, you know.
For sure.
But thank you so much. I hope you stay safe. Pet your dog for me. What's his name again? I suck at names. What's your name again? What's your name again? Now I'm only playing.
His name Pretty Boy. Tell your
Pretty
son.
boy.
Yeah, tell your son happy birthday. Happy birthday to you too. Yours first.
Come here. Say hello.
Thank you.
Stop being on deep voice. God, I tell him to text me because I'm not used to that deep voice. I be like, stop fucking talking to me. Just fucking text me. You have a son too, right? How old is your son?
My oldest son's 16.
Oh, so you're already in them stages. You already know what it is.
Two sons, 16 and 11.
Oh, yeah. So you already know what's up.
For sure.
Oh, and by the way, he says he follows you, by the way.
I just followed.
Oh, he just followed. Okay. Yeah. He said buy his music, goddammit. But yeah, it was a pleasure.
For sure. I said it was a pleasure. Until the next time.
Yes, definitely. I'll definitely keep in touch. Stay safe. I hope your kids stay safe.
Vice
Keep
versa.
giving us some good music and all that good stuff, you know?
See you later.
Cassidy, thank you. Take care. Later. All right, y'all. That was Cassidy. Sorry I didn't get to ask all the questions that I asked before. But I appreciate everybody that jumped in on the live. I appreciate everybody's comments, despite the negative ones, if you feel that those are negative. And yeah, that was a dope interview. You know, it's good to hear not only artists speaking about what's going on right now, but it's also good to hear things that are going on in the music business that a lot of indie artists may not be aware of. You know, like he said, so many artists will be so quick to get signed or wanting to get signed, and it's like it's not even about that. Stay independent, you know, own your own shit, things like that. But you know, like I said, thank you to everybody that tuned in. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube, No Filter Radio LLC, and follow me on Instagram at No Filter LLC as well. There you go. Peace. Stay safe.